If you've ever seen these videos of Doppler on wheels scanning the Bridge Creek Moore 1999 F5, I would hope the curiosity bellowed up inside of you, wondering what that radar saw. I want to show the May 3rd, 1999 DOW3 scan of the Bridge Creek Moore EF5. This dataset is highly sought after because it is not a public dataset. This dataset is not public, but the one scan that I'm going to showcase today was leaked by a farm employee. When I say leaked, this one scan is part of a whole dataset, and obviously that dataset is still being studied by CSWR and farm. But like I said, one employee did leak this one scan, and it's floating around out there. I wanted to leave the background on for a minute so you can get a good idea of where DOW3 was placed, where this tornado was in relativity to Bridge Creek, and more, but I'm going to turn it off so we can really focus in on the data that was captured by DOW3. So as you may have seen in a few moments ago, those first couple scans are pretty noisy. I don't know if it's accurate, but GR2 Analyst is saying that we're looking up about 37 feet in the air. Oh, excuse me, that says 31 feet on that 0.3 degree tilt. So there's probably all kinds of stuff in the way, but as we tilt up, that 3 degree tilt is the first extremely clean capture of the Moore Bridge Creek EF5, or F5 at the time. And this is a full volume scan from DOW3, which is incredible because it allows us to continue to pan up. And as I do so, you can see an eye forms inside of the tornado. That reflectivity void. But at the highest tilt, I noticed something. At the 15 degree tilt, if you look, we've got a small velocity couplet inside of the main vortex, which would be a subvorticity or satellite. You can see there's a couple of these, and as I look down through different tilts, you can kind of see they move. Some appear in different places. There's no way of knowing if every one of those was truly a subvorticity, but it's definitely individual pockets of rotation inside of this main vortex. So I'm going to change this color palette to what would have been pretty realistic for the time. Let's open that up. Oof, I'm not a fan of that. I'm sorry guys, I just want to kind of make this, let's do carbone. Do I have a different carbone? What's the DOW palette? Okay, there we go, let's leave it there. I like that. You've probably seen this palette used before, if you've seen this. I'm going to change this to storm relative velocity, which doesn't change much, it's actually the same fucking thing, but different color palette. So again, that 15 degree tilt is a little noisy, or there's just something blocking this little section of radar, or it maybe wasn't converted right from a different file format. I'm really not sure, but these bottom tilts are definitely noisy. Let's go ahead and turn the background back on. One other cool thing, because this is a full volume scan, you do get to see a little bit of that storm movement from how long it took to create a full volume scan. You can see it move 12 feet to the northeast or whatever, but it is a shame that this is the only scan of this event that's been released to the public. But let's focus in on this higher tilt again, and I'm going to select the volume renderer mouse, and I'm going to draw a boundary box right there. Let's go full screen and set this to basic. So DOW3 didn't capture a very large slice of this tornado. You can see that 15-degree tilt or whatever it was is really only looking maybe at max 45 to 5,000 feet in the air. But this software still converts or compiles, stitches all the scans together, and we get a nice clean start of what would be a pretty cool volumetric three-dimensional view of this tornado. It's incredible resolution for 1999. This is amazing. If we look at this, I'm going to go to one pane, switch over to velocity, and go up a little bit in the tilts to get it clean. I really want to focus in on some of these individual pockets of rotation, like that right there. You know what I mean? The detail captured by DOW3 allows for a detailed analysis of where possible sub-vortices inside of this main vortex could have been. I really, really like this thing over here as we get higher up. This little pocket of shit right here. And whatever was in there. It gets cut off at the highest tilt, but it also moves, I think, to right here. But that is definitely some sort of sub-vortice, sub-rotation. This is an incredible scan. This is what got me into wanting to view Doppler weather radar imagery and data sets. You know, I saw some of these scans floating around and I had to get my hands on them to be able to view this data for myself. This right here. I thought to myself, being able to see the edge of a tornado, all of its features, that just blew me away. And it really is incredible to look at. Whenever I turn on that smoothing, this happens, this weird artifact occurs. I couldn't tell you what it is or why, but it's also only on these weird scans where there's a bunch of data missing, so that could have something to do with it for sure. This is the tornado where Doppler on wheels measured a wind speed of 321 miles an hour, which to this day is considered to be the highest wind speeds on Earth ever recorded. That is truly incredible. I am not sure what part of the dataset that wind speed was recorded. I doubt it. I doubt we'd be lucky enough to have it be this exact scan, but it is remarkable to know that we have at least one scan of possibly the world's strongest tornado. I hope you enjoyed these few minutes of me shining some light into the one scan that you've probably seen from the 1999 Bridge Creekmore EF5. I had seen a couple of those scans floating around, or different screenshots from this same data set, and God, my mind craved being able to see this. So there's not much footage at all. Tornado TRX includes this data in his video of this storm, but there's no data or no videos really showing this storm or this data from DOW3. So I hope that if this is something you're wanting to see, this video finds you and you get everything you want out of it.